Hello and a very warm welcome to yet another edition of The Real Talk. Thank you for making time to be here with us. The hashtag is exactly that, The Real Talk. If you will feel like sharing your thoughts with us along the way, please do so on any social media platform and put that hashtag. We will find it and respond to your message. My name is Jackie Lumbasi. Always a pleasure to bring you stories that I do hope will be impactful. Now, when you hear of cybersecurity, you'll think that's a big thing. That's a scary field. Our guest today is here to tell us that you do not need to have a tech background for you to join or to succeed in the field of cybersecurity. He says all you do need is a proven roadmap. Now, what roadmap is that? I have no idea. Let's meet our guest and we'll get to know all that we need to know about cybersecurity. Welcome to the program. My name is Jackie, and once again, a pleasure to have you with us. Our guest today is Petero Niyodusenga. Now, Petero,
you got it right.
You know, please, my dear. Huh?
Yes.
You thought I was going to butcher the name, eh? I can't. I know how important names are, and so I do my best to pronounce them very well.
Correct.
Petero, you have very many years in cybersecurity, and thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
Thank you for inviting me, Lumbasi.
Thank you, my dear.
Appreciate.
Now, let's go back. Before we talk about your breakthrough into cybersecurity and the many years you've spent there, let's go back to that young man that was born and raised, I do not know where, picked interest in cybersecurity. How did that journey begin?
Well, if I go to tell a story, it's going to take ages. But
no, can you chop it?
Yeah, allow me to break it into episodes.
Please.
Actually, if I tell a story, it's going to be an episode, a full one.
Wow.
Given a fact that...
yours is a rich story.
It is, and it's a life-changing, I would say, given a fact that I share a story with so many people. When I entered, by the way, I saw one of my colleagues working here.
Yes.
The guy we went to the same high school back in Ecole in the... It's, in Gitarama. Gitarama, it's in the southern part of this country. Basically, that's maybe where I'm going to start from, right from when I finished A-level, because when I start from below A-level, it's going to take forever.
That's right. But then just touch on it. Where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in the
southern part
north.
of the country?
In the north.
In the north?
Yes.
Okay.
And then here comes, I go to primary school in the north.
How many kids in the family?
We're 7, and I'm the third one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And if at the moment, I would say I'm the pillar of the family, given a fact that everybody else did not finish master's degree. I'm the only person who actually were able to finish master's degree.
You, the third born.
And the third born, and the pillar of the family.
Wow.
Because at the age of 16, we lost our parents.
Both of them.
Yes, and I raised my siblings, 4 of them. Struggling with them, it wasn't easy, but by God's grace, I made it.
Yeah.
And of course, up to now, I still mentor them, show them the way to go.
You're the parent they know.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
So now, with that said, I went to school, A-level, they call it tronc commun. And when I finished it, I went to, actually, upon finishing tronc commun, I went to a school called Ecole Gitumba. So many people identify with my story, actually, I would say. And then I did electricity there. Electricity as in electrical-related courses. It wasn't electrical engineering per se, but when you finish, technician kind of, because when you finish it, they give you a A1 certificate. Then with the A1 certificate, I thought I would go to work for the former Electrogas. Electrogas was the biggest firm or institution providing electricity to all institutions in Rwanda. And today it's called the EUCL something. So when you finish A-level, people who used to finish A-level at Eto, Muhima, and Ecole Gitumba, and other schools in town, they would go to work for Electrogas by then. Those were my thoughts. I thought I would go there immediately from school. But the story wasn't...
It wasn't that straightforward.
Yeah, it was, the coin was flipped like this, and then I said, okay, what to do next?
So you got the certificate, and what did you do next?
I got it, and then I came to town. Because by then I was in
You're upcountry.
Tarama. It's it's in Gitarama, Ngororero, those places, in Indiza. I don't know whether you
I know
ever
Ngororero, yes.
Okay.
I know Ngororero, but now maybe the small villages, I will not know them
That place
very
is
well.
called Ecole Gitumba. Gatumba, it's nearby, it's in Ikibirira, okay? That's why I went to school.
I've passed by Ecole
When you okay, perfect.
Yeah.
It was a very good school by then. In years 2000, okay? We finished 2002. When I finished with the A1 certificate, I realized I wanted to go to school to my, I will call it university studies.
Yeah.
With the A1, you can't be admitted. I had to go for...
You need a diploma, yeah?
That's correct.
Yes.
Then I went for 2 more years. From electricity, I did electronics now.
Yes.
Electronics
Now,
and
which
telecommunication.
school did you go to
I went
now?
to Adebe, Adebe Nyarutarama. Adebe, it's a school next to where, you see MTN Center?
Yes.
Next to it, above Green Hills, we have this complex building.
Oh, yes, there's a
It's called the
building there.
Association des Anciens de Don Bosco. People used to call it Association des Bandes. Just kidding, because we used to have stubborn kids.
That
And
place.
our school director was called Wilton. Wilton, the guy used to beat us,
Gosh.
right? Disciplining
Like
us.
beating, real beating.
No, Wilton came in and he was slapping people. You know why? People were smoking. People were like, I don't know.
Unruly.
I'm telling you, that's the right word.
Yeah.
Right?
And so he was trying to put you guys back in
Wilton tried
line.
to fight with us.
Yeah.
And a couple of folks, of course, like me, I used to behave because I come from a family where we used to go to church. They used to give us basics of, you know. And guess what? Wilton tried his best until I finished school. And he left Adebe, and I left Adebe as well.
Yeah.
And the story ended there. I completed my electronics and telecommunication. That was year 5 and senior 6. When I finished, that was in 2004.
Tell me you went to university, because now you have your diploma.
Now, going to university, it wasn't easy. It's another story.
What happened?
You know, to go to university, to KIST, you are supposed to score 6 and above, 6 points out of 11 something. And I remember I scored 3 and something.
Yeah,
But that was a grade that at least can give you a diploma. But I said, okay, so what can I do with this grade? Anyway, I said, since I did not qualify to go to KIST, and it was public school, then I said, okay, the story is ended. I don't know how you go to school. Then, well, I said, what can I do next? I went to look for a job. And the very first job I got was to install electricity, putting up lights, everything.
In someone's house or in a business premises?
At Indian Kazana, in Kiovu. You see Indian Kazana?
I know, yes, I know the restaurant.
I have a family, which I actually don't take for granted. It's Toyota's family, or Mama Kawala's family. These 2 ladies, they were very, very instrumental in my life. I used to live with them. They used to stay nearby our house in Gitega, where we used to stay. And these 2 ladies, they had kids, Aaron and Miller. There's a guy we call Capable. Miller.
What are your age mates?
My age mates. We used to sing the same choir.
Wow.
I have a choir I sing in the Friends of Jesus. That's the choir.
You sing until today?
I do, because these are the people I saw back in my 16 years. When I was 16, that's when I joined them. These guys, they have values. They're the guys who actually mentored me. After losing parents, I don't have people who can actually be my mentors. These guys, they became my mentors. Guess what? These guys, they told me a story. You know what? We go to Adventist University of Central Africa. He said, how can I get there? One of the sisters, Sister Jenny, she's called Kawara, she lives in the States, she's in Boston. She told me, you know, you can go to KIST. I said, how can I go to KIST?
I cannot afford it, I don't have the grades.
She said, if you don't get public sponsorship, you can actually go for private. I said, by then,
and private, I'm sure, was expensive.
Very expensive. By then, 2002, it was 600,000 per term, 1.2 per year. Who can afford that? People who come from,
you would not be able
you understand.
To afford, yes.
Then I said, this one, I'll not go for it. Then, out of nowhere, this guy, my friend called Capable, this guy told me, you know what, at Tauka, there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity. you can go for, I mean, there's a job.
Okay.
Being an electrical a technician. And he said I should apply for that. Then he
Yet
told
you're
me,
not an Adventist.
I was an Adventist.
Oh, you were an
I
Adventist.
was born
Okay.
and raised in Adventist school.
Oh, great.
However, no pastor in our house. So which means chances were very low that I will get that job. Given
like,
the fact
who
that,
knows me,
of course,
really?
you need a recommendation and everything.
Yes.
By chance, I got to connect with people. You know, it's a good thing to connect. Let me tell you, Lumbasi,
Yeah.
you don't know how many people are inspiring and how many people are getting connections due to your talks and everything. Because let me tell you,
It's God's grace.
when someone gets to share experience and by the way, the experiences we share here, they're real experiences.
100%,
And when you share your real experience, I share it because I'm not afraid, because it's my story.
That's your story.
It's my story,
Exactly.
and I'm trying to tell people how they can actually train from zero to hero experience.
Yes.
And when you do that, you need to touch every single aspect of life. You also need to teach them the way you did it without, I mean, you tell them naked truth, I would say. So here comes me. This guy tells me, you know what, you can apply for this. Regardless the fact that you have someone to back you up or not, then I applied. Well, I was among very few people who could actually speak French and English in years 2004.
Hey.
Yeah?
Yes.
So
of the people that applied or countrywide?
Yeah. Actually, we were 11, I would say. Some of the folks that I applied with, we actually meet in the streets in town here. God. They tell me, oh, you actually got the job. I'm supposed to have gotten the job. I tell them, you know what?
I had qualifications you didn't have.
Yes. By then, we had same certificate and everything. So we had to only present our certificates. Yeah. Then we go through practical exam, I would say, because we did an interview, and then we did also a practical exam to ask you if a fuse goes down, how do you react? If this happens, how do you get to assist and everything? Yeah. So here comes me. I got a chance to get admitted in the university, but as an electrician at Auka, at Gishushu there. Yeah. We had only containers, very small campus. If you go there today, Gishushu is very fancy. It's outstanding, but if you go back...
And the university is big. The
trust me, it has
big.
Become big to the extent that if you look at it in 2004, you not realize it's the same school, right? Yeah. So I joined as an electrician to manage about, I would say, how many rooms? A couple of rooms. I would count them, like 4 or 5, and then they told me, as a matter of fact, you not manage electrical installation only, you also manage our computer lab.
And then did you enroll for your bachelor's degree straight away? Or not yet? You're just going in as an employee?
That was in 2005, okay? And then I joined, and then I observed what's happening. Then I realized that I need to go to school. I need to study. Yeah. And God placed me in the same university. Guess what? I talked to some of the administrators who are there. Then they told me, you know what? You can actually do school. There's a lady called Delinette Okiko. She's still there. She's the human resource at Auka. By then, she was the secretary. But as of today, she has a big name because she has doctorate.
Oh, wow.
But by then,
she has also been working while studying.
Of course. Yeah. That's the same trend.
Oh, wow.
By the way, the Adventist philosophy is, if you are there, you are a student or you are an employee, you work as you study. That's the philosophy.
I love it.
Whatever you do, you are a janitor, or whatever you do, you are... there are some of my friends whom I don't want to disclose for the sake of their privacy and everything. Some of them, they're on the gate. Opening the gate, closing the gate, but studying at the same time.
Studying at the same time.
But guess what? Today, if you look at them, they're important people in the society. Yeah. So which means today, I would encourage people who are saying that, you know, this job is
it's nothing. You know, I'm just opening the gate.
You see that?
You could move from opening the gate.
Actually, I know 2 of them.
To somebody else opening it for you.
2 of my friends who will listen to this talk, they will come to appreciate that opening the gate opened up gates
for them.
That's it.
Wow.
And guess what? These guys, I used to work with them. I see they're on the gate. I'm also working in the lab as a technician, opening the lab, closing the lab, doing computer maintenance, blowing the machines, making sure that I fix hardware and software. Trust me, I was among the first people who knew how to fix hardware of the machine. Wow. Troubleshooting in and out.
Wow.
Even today, I know how to troubleshoot. In and out. If I tell you I understand anatomy of the computer, I really do.
You do.
I
You
really
can
do.
dismantle
Because
it, put it back
I'm
together,
telling
you can do
because
anything
as a
inside
matter of
it.
fact, I have a background of electrical. I have a background of electronics. I have a background of networking. With that, you can actually dismount a PC and then mount it, motherboard, removing all these small condensers and transistors and diodes. You can actually mount everything. Jado, the guy I met here, we went to the same school as I told you at the ADB and the other school I told you, Eto.
Yeah.
He also knows. He's very good. I didn't ask him what he's doing here, but trust me, it's technical. Because I know he's an engineer.
Yes.
Yeah? So with that, I went there, I did that, and I carefully...
Tell me how you moved from that to teaching. Exactly, because at some point you started teaching.
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, I used to, I am the master of the lab. I used to open it for students, troubleshoot their machines. Everybody used to like me.
Yeah.
Trust me, wherever you go, even at the RBA at the gate there, I found my students. There's a guy who called me prof, and then he said, really, you know me?
Look at
there are those
that.
I don't even remember, to be honest. Because as of today, since 2010, I've taught about 10,000 plus.
Oh my goodness.
Because on average, in a year, I used to teach 1,000, because in a semester, I would teach 500 students.
Hey, man.
And I've impacted all these people.
Yeah.
And whoever I meet, trust me, they tell me stories and I can only cry.
Yeah.
It makes me cry. Why? I impacted them.
Yeah.
So with that said, I transitioned from being a technician to a student now. You see, in 2006, I enrolled, in March 2006, I enrolled as a student. The university permitted me to do courses in the evening, then I work daytime. But if anything breaks daytime, I'll go and fix it. I have no excuse. I remember their days.
Because you're still earning a salary.
Of course.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you not say the server is breaking down and you have to sit in class.
You won't. You abandon it.
Trust me, I really admire and appreciate the teachers who taught me. They would understand. If I tell them the server is down, as a matter of fact, if they don't allow me to go, they'll not be paid.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So
you played a crucial role.
I remember
in this
there's a teacher who used to teach us cost accounting called Vicky, Victoria Kadondi. She used to teach us cost accounting, tracing cost accounting. We call it allocating budget to, for example, if you're going to manufacture a table, how much are you going to spend on it? Tracing all these costs and everything. I used to like that so much. I didn't like accounting very much, but those courses, even there's a guy called Gervais, he also taught us advanced accounting. There are courses and Karemera. These guys who taught us accounting part of it, because we were doing information management. By then, there were no cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity came, I'll tell you the story of how it came about.
I want to hear that story.
Then, after that, I did, after enrolling in a bachelor's degree, there's a teacher who is very, very instrumental and inspiring. Abiud Moronge, he's from Kenya, Amachogu. He's still there.
Okay.
The guy taught me computer maintenance, how to maintain a computer, right from software, hardware, and how to troubleshoot it. The guy taught me.
But these are things that you already were doing. You knew, you had the knowledge already.
I was working, also doing it, and other students, I was like a master. They would come to me, teach us. Guess what? When you take an initiative to teach people, even though you don't even understand anything, trust me, it comes to you. It comes without you knowing where it's flowing from.
Because you're teaching, so it means you've got to learn. You've got to gain knowledge in order to pass that knowledge. So indeed, you'll be getting better.
That's how it works.
Yes.
With that said, guess what? I learned everything. Networking, Abiud taught me. As a matter of fact, we had to get 90 computers after, initially we had a lab of 20 computers. What is the capacity? 1 GB, the whole disk, and we would use a floppy disk.
Yes,
floppy.
those are the days
I don't
of
know if
floppy
kids
disks.
nowadays know.
They wouldn't
what
know the
is.
floppy disks.
To transfer data from this computer to this one, we would use a cable. If the data is huge, beyond the 3-point-something inches, you understand?
Yeah.
So that we really went a wrong way, I would say. Then we developed, later on, they brought computers with the 20 gigabytes of this capacity and 512 RAM. We installed them, they were fancy, and we set up a computer lab with the networking. We set up a server. With a server operating system, we connected, everything was controlled. And now, this time, since we had internet, we had to make sure that we put a software to control how many minutes you spend on your desktop, so that if you go and you spend more than 30 minutes, we stop you and some other people enter, because it was like...
Oh, you had to share.
Yes, sharing resources.
Yeah,
very
inevitably.
limited resources, so we had to share. So I went into that, we managed it, me and the Abud, and then guess what?
Yeah.
Later on, in 2009, I was almost finishing school, and there is a guy, by then he was Dean of Students, Dean of IT.
At AUCA still.
At AUCA, yes.
Yeah.
Ngabo Sebahashi, he was very, very loving, and he was a cool guy. He told me, I've seen potentials in you. You've got to teach classes.
Wow.
I said, really? From humble beginning, I didn't have, for me, I've never thought I can be a university professor. But the guy told me, you can do it. I said, if you say I can do it, then I'll do it. Then guess what? The moment I defended my thesis, the same day I started teaching. The same day. And the guys who delayed,
Look at that.
I taught them. They are the guys whom we went to the same school.
And
They were in the last
class.
semester.
Yeah.
I taught them.
I
I taught them some classes. They said, "How can you teach us yet?"
And yet, just the other day, we're in the same class, sitting
You understand?
through the same lectures.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
As far as I'm concerned, it takes a brain for someone to actually know what you can be able to do. And again, you have to believe in yourself.
Yeah. And so sometimes, you said it well, so it takes, sometimes you might have it in you, but you do not know.
That's correct.
It takes another person telling you
Definitely.
that there's this potential
until
I've seen in
until
you.
Ngabo Abel told me you can do it. Then I said,
never
okay,
thought you could.
Let me see. Okay, I started teaching, and I taught these guys, and since 2010,
Yeah.
I've never stopped.
Wow.
Until 2024. For 14 years, I've been teaching, making sure that whoever I teach, the style of my teaching, it's quite cumbersome.
Petero, hold on.
Yeah.
So you went into AUCA as a young man. You went into
from
work
high school.
as an electrical somebody.
Yes,
just
that's it.
installing things, connecting
Setting up
wires,
lights like this.
Setting up lights like this. And you spent 14 years in that place.
Of course.
Working, teaching, and everything else in between.
Yes.
And learning, exactly.
And learning.
Working, learning, teaching.
But along the way, in 2010, when I finished school, I taught for 2 years. And then the school said, okay, you've got to go for your master's degree. Actually, it came about that we saw a signpost that in town we have Carnegie Mellon. Okay? Then Abel...
They were new, they were still new back then.
No, very new.
Yeah.
Abel told me, that same rector, by then he was a rector, told me, can you go and see what this school is all about and everything? I went with some fellows at school, and then we went and they said, we are giving scholarships.
Wow.
Because the president had brought the school here, but nobody knew what was all about the school. The only thing we knew, they were asking for GRE and TOEFL. Then, in the first place, when I looked at it, GRE and TOEFL, I said, this is not mine.
Yep.
I just, ignored.
Yeah.
As if nothing's happening.
Yep.
I looked at the signpost.
You've already decided this is not for me.
Yes, I did. Then, until they told me, the school said, we were 4 of us. I won't mention names because I ended up getting the scholarship alone. Yeah.
The other 3, I hope they are well, wherever they are.
Yeah, they are also good. They are better off as well. And of course, I don't want to disclose their names so that I don't embarrass them. But nevertheless, we went there, and guess what? They said, you've got to do the TOEFL and GRE.
GRE, yeah.
These exams, they are not easy exams. However, what they did, as a matter of fact, to push us to the limit, Carnegie Mellon said, if you want to go to be admitted, we are going to pay for your GRE and TOEFL.
Yeah.
I said, really?
Wow.
And the exams are not taking place in town, in Kigali. We had to board buses to Kampala.
Hey.
Yes, we had to go to Kampala. I remember we did our exams in the Kampala House, Kampala House or something. There was a training center.
Uganda House.
Uganda House, correct.
Yeah.
4th floor, I remember the floor.
Yeah.
Then we had to travel the whole night. Actually, we went there for information session. They told us all the story, we liked it. The guy who said, I cannot go for it because of TOEFL and GRE, they said, we are going to pay for your exams. What is the excuse now?
You don't have an excuse.
You know
Put
what
the
I
bus,
did?
let's go.
I did self-study,
Yeah.
GRE and TOEFL. GRE is full of tough English. When you look at it, I don't know.
I've never sat that exam. I wouldn't
Trust
know.
me, it's tough. However,
It's not this basic English
it's not
we use
basic.
here.
It's really extremely advanced. I don't know how to term it, but it's really advanced English. Because when you look at it, you can read a whole paragraph and you understand nothing. You see? And at the end of the day, they ask you, what did
you understand?
You understand? What do you answer?
Summarize this, and you can't.
Also, there's also a lot of mathematics, probability stuff there. Anyway, I said, let me go for it and see. TOEFL, at least, there's these 4 parts: listening, writing, reading, and speaking.
That's much easier.
At least it's much easier.
Yeah.
We would have headsets, and then we would kind of speak. And I mean, we did all it takes to go through TOEFL. And guess what? We waited for result. Of course, we had to sleep in Kampala.
Yeah.
We did it the next day. We finished 2 exams. We came back to Kigali, and the pressure was on us now. We had a director called Bruce Krog. Bruce would write to us every single day. He'd tell us, but Bruce and Crystal Rujeje, she's now the director for Industrial Revolution, Industrial something, IR in Rwanda. So they used to write to us with Lilian Rutera. There were 3 people I know, Crystal Rujeje, Bruce Krog, and Lilian Rutera. They were the people who were by then governing, or even maybe in the administration. Those are 3 people we had. Yeah. If you go to Carnegie Mellon today, it's fully packed.
Yeah.
Actually, at Masoro, it's fully packed. You can't believe it's the same school we knew at Telecom House.
It's grown,
you understand?
no doubt. Yeah.
Then they wrote to us, oh, bring grades, and then we admit you. Until we handed over the grades, then they gave us admission letters.
Oh.
You see that?
Yes.
Finally, I got admitted. Wow. Not because I deserved it, but they said, okay, on average, you see you are supposed to have this, but you got this. Okay, let's see. They looked at the grades we had.
You got the potential.
They did what we call in French deliberation, as in you look at it and then you try to deliberate and see if you can admit this person.
Yeah.
Guess what? We got admitted.
Yeah.
We got admitted, but on condition that we're going to work hard and make sure that we recap and be on the caliber they want.
Yeah.
This
and you're among the pioneer students, or they really need you to excel.
We have gone through a lot. In that school, we have gone through a lot because when we got admitted, we thought it is an easy school. Because we are trained 2-3 hours per day. We thought that was enough for the day. But guess what? You would do 2 hours in class, do 5 hours of your own revision. Because
I want us to take a break.
Okay, that's fine.
I want us to take a short break and come back to know how you come out of this to become the man that you are today.
That's okay.
Today you're a guru in cybersecurity.
I am trying.
You have a book. You've got a program that covers the continent.
Yes.
You have more than 600 people that you're training.
That's true.
And so much more. I want us to know how that transition happened.
That's correct. I'll let you know.
Thank you. Glad to have you with us on the show. Our guest today is Petero Niyodusenga. Now, Petero is quite passionate about technology, cybersecurity, and is the guy who's telling us that even without a tech background, it's possible for you and I to build a career in cybersecurity. For sure, you know, because the way this guy is talking, it's like it needs some different caliber of brain. And he's trying to convince us that any one of us can get in. Well, when we come back, we'll get those details. But in the meantime, he just recently launched his book, Breaking into Cybersecurity. This, I was looking at, flipping through the pages, I love the spacing. I love the font. It looks like a very easy book to read.
That's correct.
Unfortunately, most of us will see Breaking Into Cybersecurity and assume that this book is not an easy one.
It's not
But
fancy.
I love the way you've spaced it out so well.
Thank you so much.
And I'll pick a few pages and share that with you. We will be back in just a bit.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for staying with us. We are live on RTV and on our official YouTube channel. Please share the links that we have as many people watching this program and learning from this conversation that I'm having with my friend Petero. Now, Petero, you get into Carnegie Mellon. I want you to, let's rush a little bit, because I need us to now get to where you are today as the big guy in cybersecurity in Texas. From Ecole
Gitumba. Yes.
To Texas.
To Texas.
Look at that.
Yeah. So actually, the Lord does wonders.
I'm telling you.
And I used to say, or to tell people, I even tell them now, actually, what you believe is what you get. If you believe you're going to be a head, you become a head.
Yeah.
If you believe you're going to be a nail or
a tail,
that's what you become. So me, I'm a man who believes that I am going to be powerful.
So what was your belief when you were going through the master's program at Carnegie Mellon? That you were going to be a big man?
No. My belief was, if I can only survive this semester, then I'm better off.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing I was thinking about, was to only survive one semester.
One semester.
Only one. Because
the rest will take care of themselves.
The first semester, trust me, I went on probation. You know, the expectations I had was that Carnegie Mellon was easy.
Yeah.
Even at AUCA, I didn't say it. I finished with the distinction at AUCA. But when I started, I went on probation. Why? Because I was working, taking care of my siblings, hustling, making money to make it life. But again, I remembered that nobody should take care of me. Then I decided I should make up my mind, do whatever it takes for me to get out of probation. And this goes to anybody, to any student who feels like, I am on probation, I'll not get out of there, regardless the excuse they have. Trust me, there are so many students I mentored. I told them, yes, you are an orphan, no parents. Okay, I've been an orphan myself.
Yeah. I am an orphan.
Yes, yes. You are on probation. I have been there.
Yeah.
You have no money.
I have been there.
You understand?
Your grades are not enough.
Yes.
You have been there.
So there's no excuse.
Yeah.
Every single excuse you bring on board, I have a challenge to give you and prove you wrong.
And it's simply an excuse.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we take it for granted and we relax, yet we don't have potentials. I mean, basically, we don't understand the potentials we have. If you can only go back to your senses, get out of your comfort zone, you can actually get yourself out of the ditch you are in. Here comes me. I'm on probation at AUCA. I got out of it, and I finished with 15 out of 20, which is distinction, almost hitting grand distinction. You see that? At Carnegie Mellon, the only thing, you see, I get admitted.
Did you come out of that probation?
Thinking it's easy.
Yes. So you're taking things lightly in the beginning.
Then, boom, probation. Guess what? I said I should get out of this. I would go to school late in the night.
And you know, being in probation as a sponsored student
just imagine.
Can be stressful.
Just imagine. If you are fired, if you are dismissed out of school, then you are embarrassed.
You're embarrassed. It's done.
And also, since I was married by then, by the way, I got married.
Already married.
Yes, I got married in March. I went to school in August.
Hey.
My wife was pregnant and she would complain every other night.
You're a strong man.
I'm telling you, it wasn't easy. She was always telling me, what are you doing? Late in the midnight. You know, we would go to school around 9 a.m. I come back around 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning. There's a time my wife told me, I want to make sure you are in school.
So she came with you?
She had to drive. No. She had to drive. I told her I'm in school. She said, okay, I'm coming to pick you up. She came to Telecom House, 4th floor. and she found students packed with the headsets. Nobody's looking at each other.
What time was that?
Around 1 a.m. In the night, yes. Because she was home alone. She said, oh, let me go pick my husband at school. Then she came. I remember also Kevin had Isabella. Isabella also used to come to school. Basically, every other man who was married,
Your wives started
they would
doubting
really,
you.
yeah, they would come and see if we are really at school. You see?
Yes.
Every single
Just
day.
to make sure the men are not playing games.
Can you imagine? Every single day going to school at 9 a.m. and you come back around 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. It's so strange.
It is.
Nobody would understand.
Yeah.
Until we went there, then we understood that Carnegie Mellon is not a joke. Then, after...
Can you now tell me how you I don't want us to finish the show without getting there, and the time is really flying. So how do you finish? Talk to us about graduating out of Carnegie Mellon, and what was the thing that you did next? Okay. Because now you left AUCA in 2024.
No. I left AUCA actually I didn't leave AUCA. Can you imagine? Since 2005 up to 2024, I've been in AUCA. Though on and off, working in the industry, but AUCA is still home.
And you're saying till 2025 because then you left the country?
Yes, that's 2024.
2024.
Yes.
And was that after your graduation at Carnegie Mellon?
No, I graduated at Carnegie Mellon 2014.
Okay.
Yes. You see, Carnegie Mellon was 2012 through 2014.
Oh, right.
So with all the hassle we have gone through, 2014 we graduated.
Okay.
Then I went back to teach.
At AUCA.
You see, I was always AUCA, industry, masters, AUCA, everything was like...
You'd go out there, look for life, but come back to AUCA.
Let me tell you the reason why I don't forget AUCA.
Yeah.
AUCA is a place where I have, as in, that AUCA cooked me.
In fact, it raised you, it gave you everything that you are today.
That's correct. If I tell you that all the knowledge I have, the foundation is AUCA.
That's right.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because networking, I know, it's from AUCA. But I forgot to mention this. When I finished high school, before I finished AUCA, I went to apply for a job. Let me say this one, and then we move on.
Yeah, okay.
Before I finished, in 2008, 2009, there is an institution called Rwandatel. Rwandatel, by then it converted the name, it was called Terracom. Terracom was hiring people, okay? And the guy who was hiring is called Edi Kaihura. The guy, we went there, we applied for a job, and then they selected people for interview. I was among them. When I went there, we had one-on-one interview. Of course, there was panel and everything. Edi had times in terms of server administration, networking, and then when it came to Cisco is networking, but he technically asked me questions related to what we call subnetting, how to calculate the IP addresses and everything. I got lost. I didn't know what to do. Then I said I should...
As if Eddie wanted to fail you.
No, actually, he wanted to prove me that I'm the right engineer they want, but he wanted me to prove it.
Yeah.
But I failed. Then I said, since I don't know subnetting, the next thing I'm going to learn is subnetting. Subnetting is the way to...
Oh, so you never got this job?
No. They didn't even get back to me.
They didn't give you a chance to learn, because you know you might
No, you can't learn. They wanted a professional.
They wanted somebody qualified.
Then I said I should really go for subnetting. Cisco.
Okay.
However, I said, okay, this one I noted down. Another chance came about. I went to do an interview at Banque Populaire. Back then, 2009, for a regional support engineer. They gave us a questionnaire, and it was full of, since banks are dealing with defense systems, they use Linux. So they gave us 20 questions, and it was all Linux. I looked at it, I only wrote my name, I gave it back. I didn't know Linux.
So why? Was Linux new to you?
Yes, very new.
And yet this is a field that you had grown in?
No, they are basics, but they also advanced stuff.
Okay.
Because the Linux, it's like magic. If I
wouldn't know, for sure.
If I write Linux commands here, you don't even know what it means. For example, if I want to list number of files, I'll do ls. List, you don't even understand what it means.
Nope, it's not English.
I take you through, it's basically, it's magic.
Yes.
Then, that was the second job I lost. And guess what? I was still a technician at AUCA. Then I said, I should learn Linux, I should also learn networking, subnetting and everything. Guess what? When I finished school, the government opened up for scholarship for 10 students from AUCA with the distinction, 10 students from KIST, 10 students from National University of Rwanda. We were 30 of us. They sent us to KIST in a program called the it was, by then it was Richter something. Then they gave us sponsorship. Each student, not less than 7,000 USD, they paid. And we did Cisco, in and out, 1,000 pages book. We did the Linux. I became an expert in Linux. We did Microsoft. I became a trainer in Microsoft.
Wow.
And we also, apart from that, we did some other trainings, CCNA security. I became a trainer in Cisco. I became a trainer in Microsoft. I became a trainer in Red Hat, in Linux. Then in three areas.
That was quite fast. As in, you were just learning,
no,
and before long you're training people.
We took 2-3 months, intensive, since 8 to 12, every single day. And we nailed it. Sponsored by the government. And there's a guy I met 3 people who have really changed my life. One is Cosmas Mutinda, sorry. Cosmas, he's from Kenya. That guy has a background of economics. The reason why I'm saying this is due to the fact that...
one thing I love about you, Petero, and as we have this conversation, you have such a good memory.
Yeah, of course I do.
You remember people's names.
No, I know
you
those
remember the places.
Me.
And exactly.
Of course.
And the other thing is, you remember everyone that supported you.
I know where I come from.
That's it.
That's
a
right.
lot of us tend to forget.
How can I dare to forget?
Please ask. I don't know why we forget.
But
we always forget people that have played a role.
For me,
that person who opens a door for you when you're less qualified.
For me,
but they see the potential.
There are people I never forget.
Yeah. So there's Cosmas Mutinda?
No, first of all, there's Abiud Moronge Machogo from Kenya.
Yeah.
The guy taught me networking and hardware.
At AUCA.
But those were basics back in 2005. When I went to industry, I realized I needed more advanced stuff. Cosmas Mutinda gave me advanced stuff, subnetting. If today you ask me to subnet, even though I'm sleeping, I can subnet any network. You understand?
Yeah.
And those are the stuff I taught at university.
Yeah. Wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
And the students I taught, today, they are leading in industry.
Fantastic.
If you want to prove
After
that...
Cosmas, you said there were 4 people.
Yes.
So there's Abel, Cosmas.
Cosmas, there's Anil Kumar.
Anil
Kumar taught me Linux, Red Hat.
Also, there's this one who taught you subnetting, then
Subnetting is Cosmas Mutinda.
Yes.
And
then Linux is Anil Kumar.
Anil Kumar.
Yeah.
He's Indian. He's now in Dubai. But the guy was amazing. All the commands I know in Linux, that is a guy. Then there's another guy called Peter Maina. That guy, he's also from Kenya. You know Kenyans, you guys, you have us. You got a back.
I can see you.
You understand? And here you are, Rumbasi. You are Rumbasing me.
You know, looks like it's Kenyans. God blessed you with these Kenyans.
By the way, even in Texas, I go to a church called Alpha International. It's Alpha SD International Community. It's basically 70% are Kenyans.
Uh-oh.
Guess what? There's a Kenyan who has a plane.
Oh, goodness.
The guy has a plane. No, anyway.
Like he owns one, like a private.
He does. No, he comes to church with a plane.
Hello?
No, seriously.
You'll tell me more about him.
After.
And give me his number.
It's called Josh. Okay? Anyway.
You'll give me Josh's contact.
So anyway, with that.
That's incredible.
Trust me, I'll tell you this. So those guys, they gave me the skills I needed.
Yeah, yeah. You know,
and guess what? Before you go any further,
you know, but I might have to invite you back for another session.
Please do.
Exactly, because
let me tell you.
Because now I have a feeling we're getting to the meat of the conversation.
No, seriously, let me tell you. When I'm teaching my students, I take 4 hours.
Good.
And I speak non-stop.
I can imagine.
No, I speak non-stop. Some of them, they converted, they want me to baptize them.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
So I have, no. So I have a feeling we'll just have to come back and now get into how does somebody without a tech background break through.
Okay, I'll do that quick.
No, we will not rush it through.
Really?
We can get another time.
Okay,
don't worry.
no problem. It's okay.
Yeah.
But we'll touch base it anyway.
Without a doubt.
Okay, we'll do intro.
Yes,
we'll do
intro.
a trailer.
Yes.
You see that?
Yes.
So that at least they came.
So that they can wait. And when tomorrow we are doing that
I'm
conversation,
telling you, seriously,
they'll be here.
We'll nail it, okay?
Yeah.
So here comes me. These guys, They gave me the skills I needed.
Yeah.
Because I told you I lost 2 jobs. No, actually, I didn't lose 2
And you
jobs.
lost them
I
because
lost
you
the
didn't
2
have the
interviews.
skills.
Of course.
Yeah. So
Now
you found people.
I had to go back.
Yes.
Sit down on the mat. Sit down on the mat. If I say sit down on the mat, I mean using all it takes for you to have the skills to be able to be competitive on the job market. Because if you're not competitive enough, who is going to employ you? Nobody.
Nobody will.
Because
but let me ask you, Petero, you know, then you could have easily said, I don't have the subnetting, I don't have the Linux that is needed, but I have got this other knowledge
It doesn't
where
work.
I am already thriving and I might as well just grow in that space.
No, basically.
Why did you have to diversify?
No, the reason why
Or
I
rather
did that,
add on the
let me
knowledge
tell
that you had.
If I wanted to do that, I would have remained in the comfort zone and remain as a technician. I wanted to be an expert.
Oh, yes.
And
You wanted to be an
experts,
expert.
they understand the Linux. By the internet you see, http:// that is Linux.
What is that?
It's Linux. Because
Interesting.
the internet runs on what we call DNS, domain name services. The way it talks, I'm trying to speak layman language.
Please do, yeah, because it's the only way you and I will have this conversation.
Yeah. So when you see the HTTP, you see that www.
Yeah, because there will be the HTTP and then
column,
the slash, the
forward
column, yes. And then you put the domain
that
name.
That is English. When you see HTTP:// that is Linux. How do I know? Because Windows, it's //. You can't understand, but Windows uses //. Linux uses //. That's the language. Basically, it's hard to understand until I take you to my class.
Yeah, and I don't want to be in your class.
Okay. I should. You know what? See this.
Yes.
With no background.
That's what you
With
said.
Okay.
Exactly.
But before I get there.
So I should not rule it out completely.
Of course, because you are there.
Because it's still possible for me.
Of course, you still have a room.
Yeah.
By the way, we'll talk about that on a separate
separate program. Yes, we're going to do that.
Yes.
So before we close, can we touch on it? I want us to prepare our viewer for what's coming.
Okay.
Why do you insist? Because I believe it was much easier for you because you had the tech background.
Of course.
What makes you sell to me the idea that it's possible for me to thrive in cybersecurity with no tech background?
Okay.
Where are you getting that?
As I told you, the guy who taught me IP subnetting is Cosmas Mutinda, and he's from Kenya. His background is economics. How did he do it? The guy had to sit on the mat, learn Cisco. After that, he came to Rwanda. He started teaching us. Guess what? All the engineers I know in town, people who understand Cisco, they were taught by him. That is the guy who revolutionized the way subnetting, networking. That guy is really amazing. We earned CCNAs, CCNP, CCIEs due to his leading and his philosophy and of teaching and everything. And he has a background of economics. Guess what? Myself, when I bring you to my class, I don't care about your background. The only thing I do, I ask you, are you willing to walk the journey with me? When you say yes, I ask you the next question. I ask you, are you willing to do push-ups and develop muscles? Because me, I'll not do push-ups and you develop muscles. When you go to the gym, the coach is right there. He's telling you, do this, do this, do this, do this. When you don't do it, do you develop muscles?
You don't. You've got to do it.
What happens? In my class, when you follow instructions, you become successful. How do you know that? Trust me, Lumbasi, I'm not sure if you're on LinkedIn, but
I am.
If you are,
yes.
Actually I invite you tonight. Then...
Oh, you have a class tonight?
No, I do teach every weekend.
Okay.
Every weekend, 6 to 8 p.m. Kigali time. The last time it's 11 to 1 p.m. So now what do I teach? I teach cybersecurity. Why do I teach cyber? I realized that the country has built infrastructure. NST1, we have been into what we call setting up infrastructure, making sure that we develop platforms, making sure that on top of platforms we have digitized systems. NS2, which is the National Strategic Objectives or position that we are in, we are now to secure what we have. I realize that much as I know networking, much as I know Linux, we also need to secure what is on top of the infrastructure that we have built.
Yeah.
Because the country has laid national fiber backbone, and then we have digitized systems. Today, if you go anywhere, you get digital systems.
That's right.
The motorbikes, everything.
We do a lot on the phone, make lots of payments on the phone.
Every single gadget comes with security threat.
Now, let's stop there, Petero. I would love that to be the foundation for our conversation next week. And as you've said, the government has put the infrastructure. NST2 is about securing the infrastructure.
That's correct.
How do we secure the infrastructure? As we conclude this conversation, and you're certainly coming back next week, what do you want the viewer to remember? You've pointed quite a lot of things and shared lots of nuggets. What do you want our viewer to remember this?
If you view this today, or the viewer, whoever that is watching this, know that regardless your background, you can actually train to be, I would say, an expert in what you want to be.
An expert in anything, in what you want to be.
It takes 100 hours of consistency to master any concept. 100 hours,
100 hours
of being consistent.
Yeah.
Guess what? Regardless the background, if you come to my class, I ask you 1 or 2 hours per day, which you waste doing nothing, okay? And you accept the challenge to become one of the people in the gym. And then I teach you how you develop muscles by developing this consistency.
Do I have to come to your class, or can I do these studies elsewhere?
If you don't come to my class, then since I have the, there's the way I twist it. Let me tell you.
Because I can find another teacher, or I can teach myself.
Everybody can train, but not everybody has the same story as I do.
So let's stop there, Petero. I love your story, and I want us to continue this conversation. When we come back next week, we will now dig deep into, because what we've done now is just get the background of Petero's journey. Where does he come from? Where is he today? Where is he going? And from the look of things, wherever he is going, he wants to take all of us with him. He wants us to come along. Isn't that what you want?
Definitely, yes.
Great. So you do stay with us so that we can get that knowledge on how we're going to move together. As I said, it's Breaking into Cybersecurity. That's the title. And then it says how to get started with a cybersecurity career with no tech background.
That's correct.
But now cybersecurity, most of us hear it and the word security stands out. And now that we're all doing a lot online, how do we stay safe?
That's a challenge.
The idea is, how do we stay safe?
That's correct.
Thank you for making time for us.
You're welcome.
Looking forward to seeing you again.
Definitely, same here. Looking forward to meet you again.
Thank you. Hope you've enjoyed this conversation and that you've learned something. If there is something I want you to take home, is that you can become anything. It does not matter your background. What we keep saying about ourselves, oh, I wasn't raised in this kind of home, or I didn't have this kind of privileges, oh, I am an orphan, I didn't get exposed to these things. Those are simply excuses. The day we stop making excuses and pick ourselves up and then dedicate the 100 hours, we will become anything that we want to become. God bless you. We will see you next week.
Thank you.